Voters continue to take advantage of early voting, and Barnstable police arrest an individual for breaking and entering. We learn more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, November 1st, 2016. I'm Sarah Mannel. Barnstable residents continue to take advantage of early voting. So far, 11% of registered voters have already cast their ballots. Due to the overwhelming turnout, the clerk's office has moved early voting from the third floor of Town Hall to the Town Hall hearing room that's located on the second floor. Early voting is available through Friday between the hours of 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The Barnstable Police Department is hard at work to learn more about a recent arrest and other department happenings. Channel 18's Sarah Colvin chats with Police Chief Paul McDonald.
Let's start with a burglary that happened out in Marston's Mills.
Last Wednesday at approximately 5:30 in the evening, we responded out to the area of 45 Newtown Santuit Road, which is right on the Barnstable Sandwich Town line. And while the officers were en route, they get a call for another call in progress, a possible beanie in progress at 155 Newtown Santuit Road. Upon their arrival, they spoke to the lady who owns the home. She stated that as she arrived home, there was a suspicious vehicle parked in her driveway. As she exited her vehicle, an individual ran from her house, jumped in the vehicle. She tried to stop that vehicle by opening the passenger side door. The individual was able to get the car in reverse, backed out, hitting her, knocking to the ground, and dragging her a short distance. The vehicle then took off. The responding officers, as they were approaching the scene, they had a good description of the vehicle. They saw the vehicle traveling up on Race Lane, heading into Sandwich. They initiated a felony stop. They stopped the vehicle just over the Sandwich Town line, and they ended up arresting an individual named Richard Herrera. He gave an address of 110 School Street, Marston Mills. However, we know he just moved down here. We know he just got out of jail. He just did an 8 to 10 year sentence in state prison, and we know he's a known Latin king. So he's a good guy to get off the street. He's a real bad guy, and he's being held currently right now for $25,000 cash bail.
My goodness. So he will be behind bars for a little while.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. I mean, this guy was just looking for unoccupied houses. I believe they're still doing the follow-up on him while he's being held, and I believe they have him for at least another 4 or 5 beanies out in that area. He was just driving through that area, the Barnstable Sandwich Town line. We work closely with Sandwich detectives trying to identify the many bricks we possibly can, but we do expect there'll be a number of charges pending against him.
Chief, is that a concern for you in the department as we're in this time of year where folks are leaving their summer homes and either going back up to the city or down to Florida, like there's many snowbirds here? Is that a concern for you that people may be canvassing those neighborhoods that they know people are going to be vacating their homes?
It used to be. When I first started, that was a huge problem here on the Cape. We used to cover probably 60 to 70 beanies in the course of a week. Right now, if we have two or three breaks in the course of a week, that's high for us. So they certainly have changed, but in the old days, that was a huge concern. A lot of times, those breaks weren't even discovered. They'd close up, they'd lock up the cottage, come around September, October. They wouldn't come back to the house, come around until April or May. That's when they'd be reporting the break. A lot of times, we had no idea when they occurred. But you're right. In the old days, that was a huge problem. Not so much anymore right now. The times of people breaking in to steal TVs, stereos, artifacts, that's kind of gone. Right now, they do a break. They're going in, they're looking for the medicine cabinet, they're looking for drugs, they're looking for money, they're trying to get out quickly.
Sure. So, Chief, let's talk about the Willow Tree Market armed robbery that happened Saturday night. A couple of 19-year-olds in trouble for this one.
Yeah, that happened around 8:30 Saturday night at Willow Tree Market right there on Charles Street. A couple of individuals walked in. They're both wearing dark hooded sweatshirts. One individual, Cody Martin, walked right up to the cash register. The other individual went to the right by the coolers, and he was kind of standing there as a lookout. Cody Martin took out a firearm, pointed at the cashier, and demanded the money. The cashier immediately recognized the individual, someone who frequents the mart all the time. He thought it was a joke at first, laughed, says, what's going on? This can't be happening. The guy then took out a gun. He looked at the gun. It was a small caliber pistol. He didn't think it was a real gun, thought it might be a cap gun. He said, I'm not giving you the money. Then the guy actually fired around. He fired around over the counter into the wall behind him. The individual then gave up all the money. Both individuals, they then took off running. One went to the right down towards Barnstable Road. The other one went towards left, up towards Winter Street. Both individuals were quickly identified by the detectives division, and then Sunday morning, a couple of patrol units found both individuals on Main Street, and then a third individual who was a juvenile, 17 years old. He was with them, and when they patted him down, they found a small caliber pistol on him, which we believe was the weapon involved in the armed robbery the previous night. Right now, the juvenile has been released, but both of the adults, Cody Martin and Lamar Pringle, they've been held for a dangerous hearing, so they've been held with no bail for at least 60 days pending the hearing.
Right, and I know they pled not guilty earlier this week, but again, as you said, they are being held pending that dangerousness hearing.
They pled not guilty, but they get a rock solid case against them.
Great. Chief, again, we've been talking about this for the past week and a half, early voting. It's been an unbelievable turnout here at Town Hall, and I know that there were hours at the Barnstable Police Station on Saturday, also some really impressive numbers. So how did that go for you to have a steady stream of people coming in and out of BPD headquarters?
It worked out well. Yeah, we talked to the clerk. The clerk wanted to have 1 day of voting on a Saturday. Of course, there were no other municipal buildings open in town except for the PD. We offered the PD to them. They come over Friday night. They set up the voting booths, and the voting time was set for Saturday morning between 8 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. People started showing up right at 8 o'clock, and right through till 2 o'clock. And at the end of the day, we had exactly 600 people come in to early vote, which was a huge number. And this was the first time, to my knowledge, this ever happened here at the PD. So it was a great occurrence, and they're welcome to use the building whenever they want to.
Great, and we'll see how early voting continues. But we've had 11% of voters already turn out.
That's huge.
Which is pretty
That's
amazing.
Huge.
It really is. That's I think an average midterm election turnout for the entire day is 11%. So that is a good thing. So yesterday, Chief, of course, ghouls and goblins, kids dressed up in Halloween costumes on Main Street for the annual Safe Trick or Treat event.
Yep.
But for the first time this year, I believe it was the first time, Main Street was closed to traffic, which I think was a really fantastic idea for the kids and the families.
Well, we closed the Main Street down years ago. When we first started doing it, we closed it down. We closed it down from High School Road to C Street, and that was the only time we ever did it. When we first started off, there wasn't that many kids there, so over the year we decided to leave the street open. But then over the last 2 or 3 years, it's really become congested. It's really been the place to come. Everybody from all over town, all over the Cape now are bringing the kids to Main Street Hyannis. So we made a very conscious decision that this year we're going to close it down starting at 3:30. We closed it down from Ocean Street all the way down to C Street. Because we just didn't want to take a chance of any of the kids being hurt. You get the cars parked on Main Street. The kids are so small; they walk between the cars, walk out. Cars didn't see them. That's the last thing we wanted to happen. So we wanted to be a safe, secure environment for everybody. So we closed it down from 3:30 till about 6:30, and it went very, very well. Main Street was jammed. This was probably the most busiest event that I've seen, and I've been to all of them. Just at our Hyannis station on Main Street, we had 2,325 kids come through the door. So it was a huge turnout.
Wow, that is a lot of candy to hand out on Main
Street. It was a lot of kids and a lot of candy, and we ran out.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that everyone had a safe Halloween. Chief, any kind of Halloween-related incidents last night? I know that in the past.
No. In the old days, Halloween was probably one of our busiest nights. But right now, it's very, very, very quiet. Most of the the kids in town, once they get out of school, they come right down to Main Street. The families are down there. The police are down there. The business community is down there. So it's just a great environment for everybody. I think most of the people now are using Main Street rather than going through different neighborhoods. They still are out in the neighborhoods, but virtually no problems at all.
Certainly not as much as it was in the past. Last thing to mention, Chief, a resolution of a home invasion case that happened several years ago. What's the update here?
This was a home invasion that happened back in 2014 on Keating Road, on Ocean Street, at 2 o'clock in the morning. 3 individuals that broke into the house. They've actually followed these people home. They knew they were in the home. They purposely targeted these individuals. They went with baseball bats. They assaulted all 3 individuals. Within a couple of days, all 3 individuals were arrested: Justin Garber, Jordan Gomes, Stephen Roderick. The case is just coming to court now, Superior Court. The first one to go on trial was Justin Garber, and he pled out rather than go to trial. He decided to take a plea to 12 years and 1 day, which means he has to do 12 years.
Well, be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 8 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with Jessica Silver, President and CEO of the Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce. We'll talk with Town Manager Mark Ells. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.